everybody. It is a thankful Thursday, and today is April 9th, 2020. We will be going over today the last little part of our Unit 8 test, reflecting back at the last few questions we covered, which are going to be questions 20 through 25. And hopefully you can tell from the flashing little doodad there on our screen that there's no school tomorrow. Yay. Super yay. Okay. So, yep, we're going to be going over questions 20 through 25, but we're also going to be doing a little sneak peek at next week. I got something planned. Something different. All right, so let's take a look at our questions. And this is question number 20 on our test. It says, which of the following does this policy fall under? And if you're looking here, we see a graph about high school graduation rates in the United States. And your choices are provide for the common defense, advance the common good, establish domestic tranquility, and administer justice. So, peace at home, graduation? No, not really. I mean, we're not calling out the National Guard for this. So, no. Provide for the common defense? No, we're not fighting anybody. Administering justice? No. It kind of leaves provide for the common or advance the common good. You know, if you have more people graduating high school, that means that they are equipped to get out into the workforce. More people working in America means more money coming in, more taxes being raised. That's good all the way around. For us, well, the government. 21. How does traditional war differ from a terrorist action? And if you remember, I told you guys last Thursday, a week from today, that when we were going over reviewing for the test, that there was a mistake on our attendance quiz where I had put the wrong answer in, and I was correcting myself, and I did it 6 times Thursday, correcting myself and telling everybody the right answer. This was it. So the question is, how does traditional war differ from a terrorist action? Well, the answer is A. In traditional war, civilians are not supposed to be targeted. In traditional warfare, it's going to be one military against another military, one army against another army. They're going to be attacking each other, shooting missiles at each other. But in a terrorist act, those usually target civilians, people who are not the military. If you look back at 9/11, the Twin Towers, they're not military facilities. It's not an army base. It's not an Air Force base. It was an office building. A few years earlier in Oklahoma, we had a terrorist bombing there at, I believe it was a courthouse or a federal building or something, where people worked. It wasn't military. So the difference between traditional warfare and terrorist acts is that in a terrorist act, civilians are targeted, but in a traditional warfare, civilians are not. It's military against military, Air Force against Air Force. So that was the answer. Number 22. What is the fundamental cause for conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War? I mean, it was more than just they're the big dog on the block and we're the big dog on the block, and we can't have two big dogs on the block. Somebody's got to be the alpha dog on the block. It was more than that. But the big cause was, it wasn't oil. It wasn't religious freedom. The Soviet Union actually took a stance of atheism. It wasn't terrorism. It's actually ideology, government ideas. Their a communist government. We're a capitalist government. We believe in free trade, not and you know the idea of private ownership. We believe in having people vote, a democracy, whereas that's not what they have going or had going and still do have going on today in the Soviet Union. Well, today it's Russia, but same thing. 23. The Department of Homeland Security was created in response to the 9/11 attacks. Which of the following would this department fall under? We did this as a practice in the attendance quiz last week, and we did it Thursday in review too. So you saw this twice. If you missed this, shame, shame, shame. But it says, under which of these would that department fall? The Department of Homeland Security. Is it A, provide for the common defense, B, advance the common good, C, establish domestic tranquility, or D, administer justice? And the answer is A, provide for the common defense. You know, we're being attacked. This is a defensive mechanism. Some people picked C, domestic tranquility, thinking peace at home, we're being attacked, peace at home, homeland security, domestic, and that's incorrect because the domestic tranquility is talking about putting down internal uprisings in the United States like Shays Rebellion. That's not what Homeland Security was created for. It's about outside attacks on the United States in the form of a terrorist action. So it's A. Number 24. In addition to the Department of Homeland Security, the Patriot Act was passed as a response to the U.S.'s war on terror. Now, among other things, it allowed the government to search telephones, records, homes, pull people in and interrogate them for hours, days. These people who were suspected of terrorist or terrorist activity. Many people felt this law had gone too far and that it violated one of our Bill of Rights, one of our chief rights. Was it the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, or the Sixth Amendment? And the answer was B, the Fourth Amendment, which is the right to not have your property searched or seized without just cause or a warrant from a judge. So it's the Fourth Amendment. Last question. Woohoo! Which branch of our government has the most influence and control over foreign affairs? Is it A, executive branch, B, legislative branch, C, judicial branch, or D, confederal, which is something I just made up and threw in there? The answer was, let me see, A, the executive branch. You know it ain't the judicial branch, kiddos. I mean, the judicial branch's one big power is judicial review. I mean, they can declare an executive order to be illegal or a law passed by Congress to be illegal, but that really doesn't take us too far into what foreign policy. This is dealing with other countries, dealing with global issues. The legislative branch has power. They can declare war. They ratify treaties. They ratify appointments the president makes. But the big power in foreign affairs is the executive branch. It's the president. The president is our commander-in-chief. He can send out troops up to 90 days without the permission of Congress. The president is the face of our country. He or she appoints ambassadors to other countries, to the United Nations. The president also is the person who is the face of our country. They set the foreign policy, how we're going to be with this country. This is our policy while I'm president. This is how our relationship with Cuba is going to be. So the president, the executive branch, is the most influential in terms of foreign affairs. All right. Next week, we are going to start the fourth quarter next week. We will take the county's civics EOC, which I'm going to count as the big grand poobah of it all, the week of April 20th. The testing window actually will open April 20th at 8 a.m. And you have until April 24th at 3 p.m. to test and submit. So you have 5 days, and that's what we're going to do that week is devoted only to taking your test. Now, once you open your test, you got to finish it. So make sure that you take your test with time to get done to submit it. That means you can test Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Personally, me, if I know that, I want to study and I want to make sure that I've studied enough and I'm ready for it, I'd wait and take it, Thursday. I wouldn't take it Friday because what if something happened and you ended up not being able to test and then it doesn't get into, it's not in. So I would not do it Friday. I would definitely do my test either Wednesday or Thursday, just so it gave me extra time to study and be ready, and then bam, take that test. You must take your test between the hours of 8 and 3. If you are having internet issues, computer issues, please notify me ASAP, as soon as possible, so I can get a paper copy of the test to you. And that way you can get your test into me and I will take care of it that way. If you do not complete the EOC by 3 p.m. April 24th, you will receive a 0 for a test grade, for your EOC test grade. Folks, that is not what you want to do. It will kill your overall grade. We'll talk about this a little bit more and in depth Monday. We will be video conferencing meeting Monday, every class Monday. So I will be talking to you a little bit more specifically. And if you have questions, then you can ask them to me then. That's pretty much it for now. So remember, there's no school tomorrow. Enjoy your three-day weekend. And a special little shout out to Matthew Peace. His birthday is Friday. Happy birthday, Matthew. Everybody else, have a happy Passover or a happy Easter or whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. Make sure you get out and take a walk, ride your bike, play out in your yard for a little bit. Take a walk. Read a book. Don't aggravate your parents for at least 10 minutes, at least. And if you get a chance, watch the greatest movie in the history of the world, Rocky III. It is completely awesome. Or you can watch Rocky IV, which is also just as great. And it talks about communism. So there's that too. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. And I'll have AC/DC rock you out. And have a rockin' Rocky III weekend. Happy birthday, Matt.